They served me the papers at my front door. Midday, sun high, neighbors watching. My mother stood behind the process server like she was attending a wedding. Calm, certain. My father wouldn't look at me. My brother smiled. That smile. The one that said he'd always been forgiven before the damage landed? Stealing his idea, the filing read. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't ask why. I folded the papers once, cleanly, and thanked the man for his time. My hands didn't shake. I felt something else, relief, because now I knew exactly how far they were willing to go. I learned early that love in my house had a hierarchy. He was the golden one, the dreamer, the risk-taker, the son who needed help. I was the quiet one who paid for his own textbooks, built his own credit, and never asked for favors. When I was 16, I worked nights. When I was 19, I slept under my desk. By 24, my company crossed $2 million in revenue. I bought a modest home. No cosigners. No congratulations either. They called it luck. I called it discipline. My brother watched me build. He asked questions I answered too generously. He nodded like he understood. Then he quit his job, borrowed heavily, and tried to recreate my business without the boring parts. No compliance. No contracts. No patience. He burned $450,000 and came home bleeding excuses. That's when the story changed. I noticed it in the pauses. The way my mother stopped asking how I was. The way my father started forwarding emails with "just curious" in the subject line. My brother's text turned stiff, legal. He asked for documents I'd already shared years ago. He asked again, and again. Then a friend sent me a screenshot. My business plan. My language. My timeline. Presented as his. Attached to a loan application. Dated months after mine. Altered just enough to look new. I didn't confront them. I archived everything. The lawsuit came next. They wanted damages, ownership, an apology. They wanted me to settle quietly and make it right. They said family shouldn't fight. That night, I poured a drink and read every page twice. Then I stopped drinking. I didn't feel angry. I felt focused. I hired one attorney to defend me and another to investigate them. I learned where my parents had borrowed to cover my brother's losses. I learned the interest rates, the personal guarantees, the timelines. I learned who held the paper and who was getting nervous. I waited. When their lender started shopping the debt, I made an offer through an intermediary. Cash, fast close. No drama. They accepted without knowing my name. I bought the note, the guarantees, and the leverage. All of it. I didn't call them. I let the calendar do the talking. The hearing was scheduled on a Thursday. They arrived confident. My brother wore a new suit. My mother clutched her folder like a shield. My father finally looked at me. He looked tired. My attorney stood, calm, precise. He dismantled the claim piece by piece, dates, metadata, contracts. The judge leaned forward. The smile on my brother's face vanished first. Then my attorney introduced Exhibit C, the debt. My debt. The room shifted. My parents whispered. My brother stared at me like I'd changed languages mid-sentence. After the hearing, I asked them to sit. Not to negotiate, to listen. I didn't steal anything, I said. I built it. You watched. You borrowed against your house to fund a fantasy and blamed me when it collapsed. My mother started to cry. My father asked what I wanted. I slid the documents across the table. I wanted what was owed. We didn't raise our voices, we signed. Within months, the house I grew up in was mine. The rental property, too. The accounts were transferred. The lawsuit was withdrawn with prejudice. My brother moved back into his childhood bedroom. He doesn't look at me anymore. I didn't evict them. I didn't gloat. I leased the properties back at fair market rates. Contracts only. No exceptions. I hired a manager. I stopped answering late-night calls. The quiet after was the best part. No more proving. No more explaining. I wake up in my home, drink my coffee, and plan the next quarter. I didn't win by yelling. I won by waiting, learning, and executing. People think revenge has to be loud to be satisfying. They're wrong. Sometimes justice is just paperwork, signed by people who thought you'd never read the fine print.